Minutes of November 6th. Gentlemen, have you had a chance to read them? If so, we'll entertain a motion to accept. Huh? 20th? Yeah. I thought I was doing it, like I said.
It's my error.
I'm sorry, gentlemen, November 20th.
Yep.
You have a chance to look at them? Motion to accept itself?
Make the motion.
Motion by Paul, second by Dave. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Okay, we have a public hearing now, local law introductory deed of 2013. Anybody, once we open up the public hearing, anybody who wants to get up and talk, they can talk. Herb, would you guess, Herb Cully, our attorney, will just get up and give us a synopsis of it.
This local law proposes to increase the highway superintendent portion of the highway superintendent's salary, which does not include all his compensation because he's paid under two separate categories, to increase the highway superintendent component as set forth in our 2014 budget from $42,720 to the sum of $47,720, which would be a $5,000 increase. This is subject to a public hearing. Obviously, if you wish to address the board, please identify yourself. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes.
That being said, any comments with regards to this topic? Yes.
Yeah, Dave myself from Beechwood Road. I think the board and the taxpayers of New Hartford are really fortunate to have Rick on staff. I've watched him over the last few years on Beechwood and Woodbury projects and been to a lot of meetings and seen what his responsibilities are. And I think a raise is a no-brainer. If he were to pursue a career in the private marketplace, he could do substantially better, and I'm sure not be roused at 3 o'clock in the morning to deal with the crisis du jour. So I'm all for this.
Thanks, Dave. Anyone else would like to make a comment on the public hearing? Yes, ma'am.
Carolyn Pendleton, I live on Bowling Road. I'm against all of this because I feel when people take a job and they're elected to that, they know what the salary is. How many more, what's the town population?
About 22,000.
And he is sewer superintendent?
Along with being
Yes.
highway superintendent, yes.
Does that go along with the job? Or is that a
It's a
separate
separate
job? There's not anybody else in the town that could use $17,000?
It's,
It's elected, it's appointed, whatever. I don't know. And as far as bus driving, there's not anybody else in the town that wants to drive a bus. When he's taking time off from his job to then go drive bus, if he gets hung up somewhere and he's needed someplace else, what goes on? I'm not saying he's doing a bad job. I just don't think the man needs to have more money when he's already getting X number of dollars. And when the town population, and you talk to the elderly people in this town, and a lot of them are lucky if they're living on 30, and you want to give him 5 more, I'm against it.
thank you, thank you. Anyone else?
Carlton Quarry, Red Hill. From what I can see around town, Mr. Sherman is doing a wonderful job. And it seems that we're getting a big bang for our buck as far as the type of job that's being done. And of course, I'm just going by what I read in the newspaper. And I do think we're getting a big value for our dollar. And as far as the retirement and all that stuff was in the paper, I think this issue really should come down strictly to job performance. And they didn't put in the paper what Mr. Sherman's job reviews look like, but assuming that they reflect what I see in the county, again, I think we're getting a good value and that the man deserves to be compensated for that.
Thanks, Carlton. Anyone else? Okay, we got a couple, ma'am, right here.
I'd just like to say, I don't know Mr. Sherman.
Can we have your name, please?
My name is Pat Torsano, I live on Sylvan Glen Road. But my problem with him is that you cannot reach him. My neighbors have all had the same problem. You call, you leave a message, you ask to be called back, and you're never, ever given the respect of a callback. And I think any man that's in public service and is paid for by us taxpayers owe us the respect that we give them. So I don't know what his job performance is. I only know is his PR. He doesn't have it with people. And I think he should realize that we are citizens and we should have a little courtesy when we make a call. I think is Mr. Sherman there? I have no idea who he is.
He's here. He's our highway superintendent. This is just.
I know who he is.
Council.
I'm very familiar who he is, but I mean, is he here that I could know who he looks like?
He's right behind you.
Oh. Oh, okay, thank you. Nice to meet you. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
I've met Mr. Sherman.
Just
He's a
your
nice
name,
guy,
please,
he's a
sir.
nice talker. Oh, Tony Pelly, 97 Glen Road. But I've had a few problems, and I don't want to disagree with the fellow behind me, but I've been promised taking care, this many, many years, and it still isn't taken care of. He agrees with the problem, he claims he's going to have it done, but it's never done.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Mary Jo Ross, Lower Woods Road. I think Mr. Sherman has done an admirable job, and as far as the mention in the paper of his retirement salary, I see that as totally irrelevant. He should be compensated for the job he's doing, and I think it's time for a raise.
Thank you, Mary. Yes.
Margaret Munsell on Beechwood Road. I also agree that Mr. Sherman deserves the additional compensation, and I agree with the other lady here as far as any other jobs or any other income that Mr. Sherman has that is completely separate from the town superintendent's job. And I'm sorry to hear that there's some other folks here who don't feel that Mr. Sherman is responsive when they call or leave messages, because we have not found that to be the case, and we have seen his truck on many occasions at all hours of the day and night when there's weather going on, going up and down our street. So I too agree that Mr. Sherman is deserving of the additional raise in pay.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
Bill Marshall, Root Street. I'm in favor of Rick getting raised too, but I think we need to put things in perspective a little. The highway department is still extremely understaffed. We're still 4 people short than we were a few years ago. We have 4 guys that have been laborers for 7 years, need to be upgraded, and we're still without a contract for 3 years. I just would like you to take all that into consideration.
Thank you. Anyone else? Since there's no one else that wants to speak, board motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Paul, second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. You want to wait to vote on this? We have a resolution here. Would you like to take care of it now, board, or you want to wait?
I think these people deserve to see how it's going to be handled instead of having to be dragged out to the end.
Okay, on the back here, we have a,
No, that's,
is that it?
No.
That's not it?
back to the 6th page.
No.
That's the local law.
Okay.
If someone wanted to make a motion to either adopt, defer, or reject.
It would just be based upon this back here.
Right.
All right, motion,
I'll make a motion to adopt it as it's presented here on the
back of page 1.
I second it.
Second, discussion?
Yeah. I'm not against the highway superintendent getting a raise. I think it hasn't been a raise since 2009, and that it is due to be increased. However, the process that's being used to do it is totally abhorrent to me. This local law will remain in their book until the town ceases to exist. And it's really ridiculous. This should have been handled at budget time. It was submitted when the highway superintendent submitted his budget proposal. He did ask for a raise. It was taken out, and at the time, I must confess, I was not aware until the very last moment, when the public hearing was already held and it was too late, that he had asked for a raise and it was taken out. And to that end, favor giving him a raise, I abhor the method of local law to do it. It's totally the absolute wrong way.
Anyone else? Okay.
I'd like to actually add some things why I voted for Rick to get his raise. A few things that people don't see every day is a lot of the grants and things that Rick are working on. Last year, I know there was a lot of other towns and municipalities that didn't apply for grants to get money back from flooding. Rick did that by himself and received over $200,000 in grants last year. He also got the DOL grant from the Department of Labor to get Mud Creek, to get that taken care of and get that cleaned out. Rick was a big part of that through the Sequoia Creek Basin, and he got that taken care of last year. That was also a big savings to the town. Last year there was another thing that came that Rick did. He was the major guy on the police locker rooms. We got a couple bids from some engineers to look over the project and take care of it. The bids that we got were $15,000, $16,000. We wind up getting an architectural plan for $500. Rick every day went and sought out that job and saved the town another $15,000 there last year. This year, currently, he's working on the Mud Creek grant to try to get a retention pond up on Middle Settlement Road. That's a $1.5 million grant. Rick has been going to the meetings on Sundays, on Saturdays with the people of Royal Brook Lane, going to the businesses on Commercial Drive, trying to get information and destruction that happened so we can put that and compile it together with the grants. He's also working on the Tilden Road grant with FEMA, which is probably another $300,000 that the town's going to receive. And this is all above and beyond his job requirements and his duties, because other superintendents and other communities aren't going out and getting these things that Rick's going out to get. So that's why I support his $5,000 raise. In fact, it's a small amount of money for the money that he's actually bringing into the town. So
I further want to comment that if this has been addressed at budget time every time, and given the standard raise that we give all full-time elected officials, is that he would receive much more than $5,000. His salary would be more than $47,000 for the highway portion of the budget. So that, in essence, he's still not up to where he would have been with the 3% raises had they been continuous. But I still object to the local law process.
Okay, that being said, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 Unanimous. Thank you. Public presentations. Now's the time to get up if you've got any comments you want to make. I see our county legislator, Jim D'Onofrio, has walked into the room. Good evening, Jim.
Good evening.
Anybody would like to make a comment about anything that's going on in the town? Okay, that being said, we'll move on to the report of standing committees, town clerk committee, Councilman Wood.
We have a resolution to establish an hourly rate for the deputy registrar. And we have, it says, whereas a vacancy exists in the part-time clerk's position in the town clerk's office due to the promotion of Shelby Bowling as deputy registrar. Now therefore be resolved that upon the recommendation of the town clerk, the town board of New Hartford does appoint Caroline Rancio as temporary clerk in the town clerk's office commencing Monday, December 16th, ending January 31st, an hourly wage of $8.47 paid bi-weekly. No benefits. I'll make that motion that we appoint her for that wage.
Did you say 8 or 11:47?
8:47.
There's two different resolutions.
Oh, just in case?
No, there's,
Oh, am I reading it wrong?
Robin retired,
Oh, that's for her, okay. I'm sorry.
and she was appointed as deputy registrar. Shelby was appointed as deputy registrar in Robin's place. but at a lower rate, 11.47. And then Shelby's position, she was part-time, is vacant, so I'd like to put Caroline in there until the end of January
Gotcha.
at 8:47.
We have a motion by Rich.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do you want to save that till the end? You've got applicant interviews
We can save that
till the end?
Yep, might need an executive session for that.
Public Works and Sewer, Councilman Michione.
The Salt and Brine municipal agreement, Rick's working on selling our brine to different municipalities and the school. I have the agreements here. One's with the Village of Ilion, and one's with Village of Yorkville, and the other one's with the school. So I have those that get signed. I'll make a motion to be signing those.
Is there a situation with going out of the county? I don't know, I'll have to check.
How many more of these, how many more of these intermunicipal agreements are expected? Are we gonna have enough brine for ourselves or just to keep selling it off? Is what I wanna know.
That's a good point. How, they come and pick this up, Rick?
Yes, most of them are going to come, the Village of Ilion, until he gets a bigger truck or bigger tanker, we may have to deliver it down to Ilion. But there's going to be a delivery fee involved in that. But the brine is going to, the maker makes 6,000 gallons an hour. There's going to be more than enough brine for whoever's interested in it.
Rick, these are the agreements that I looked at
So those are the agreements that you looked at, yes.
What portion of this recovers our cost and investment on the equipment? Is it, in other words, are we making money on this to retire our debt?
I broke it down to 1,000 gallons. 1,000 gallons takes 1.1 ton of salt, which is $39.64 in the OGS contract this year. It went down. We call it the hot brine, which has mag chloride in it for all temperatures. It's $1.29 a gallon, and it usually takes 5%. They mix it 5%. So on that 1,000 gallons, it takes 50 gallons. So the cost of the brine, including our water, domestic water, and our electric, the one that we worked on with Paul, comes out to about 7 cents a gallon to make the brine. So we take all that into consideration, the salt, the mag chloride, and the cost, it comes down to 17 cents a gallon is what we're going to be selling it for. That includes the salt, everything to make that gallon of brine.
So we're more than doubling our money. 7 cents to 17.
Well, that's taking care of all the mag chloride and the power and the water and our salt.
But we don't include anything in there for like depreciation of that equipment, the use of that equipment.
Well, there's the 7 cents is probably what I figure for the town of New Hartford. It's costing us about a nickel, 4 cents to a nickel a make. That's what it's going to cost us to put down on our roads. So there's a
but
couple
that doesn't
cents
include
gallons.
the cost of the equipment.
No, but over the years, there should be a profit there of coming back for the equipment.
Okay.
Well, you and I talked, and the only thing, I mean, I don't mind doing a couple of close communities, but if we're going out to distant communities, you know, this is a big investment. I'd like to see something in there that's also going to add to that cost, or that charge, if you will, something that relates back to the cost of that equipment, so that we could recoup some of that as we sell it. And I gotta be honest with you, transporting it down to Ilion, it really doesn't excite me a lot.
Okay.
You know, if they're coming up here, that's one thing, but, you know, us trucking it down, I wouldn't be in favor of that.
Is the price called out on these agreements?
Yes.
Is there an escape clause if our brine maker, we can't deliver it, that we don't?
The price is called out?
Okay.
And it said plus delivery also too. There's
Did I see
additional
his
fee.
with delivery? I didn't see the
Rick, when are you gonna be ready with this? Do you know?
It's being delivered next week. They were supposed to be delivered on the 20th. They're trying to push it to the 16th. So they have the week to install it and get it up and running. And tweaking it in a couple of days, we should be ready to go. Ilion went out and purchased a tank. They went to, this past weekend, they went down to Hamilton, who's got another brine maker in the vicinity. They're a little further away, but he went down there and pre-treated his road for this weekend storm, and just this weekend alone, the village of Ilion saved $450.
So by the first of the year, you're gonna be making brine?
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Pat Savicki from Oneida Street. The contents of this brine, is it going to be significantly different from the salt that's been used in the past? Is it going to permeate into the water zone?
No.
No.
It's the same thing that we've been using right along, only it's in a liquid form, faster acting, because it's liquid, we're putting the liquid down instead of waiting for that kernel of salt to react and melt.
And it's not going to mean more salt and more...
No, it's actually less.
Okay.
With a safer road.
And can you tell us about that second ingredient?
The mag chloride is what we use today also. Mag chloride is sprayed on the salt at the mines. Usually if you see a load of salt that's blue or green, that's clear lane, it has that sprayed on at the mine, and that's for colder temperatures. Safe to animals, good people walking their dogs, walking, it's user friendly all the way around.
And it's safe to the water table?
Hold it. Thank you. Okay, the only thing that I have an objection to about this is, again, the cost of the equipment, okay?
Okay.
I would like to see, board, I would like to see something added into this, to this cost.
And it's spelled out specifically that it's for, here's the cost of the product, and there's a surcharge for, call it whatever you want.
Well, we could add a rate in. I mean, Rick's got all his materials in there. We could add in whatever you want to call it, amortization of the equipment or whatever. Mrs. Savicki, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's
however, we
okay.
will put something on the internet so that everybody can see it. However, we'd like to keep everything up here at the board level. Okay, Rick?
Yep. We're getting an awful lot of inquiries on this. City of Rome is maybe coming to New Hartford. They're all these trucks are going to be coming to our site here to pick it up. The only one that is, like I say, is having trouble getting going is the village of Ilion.
Well,
so everybody else is coming here. They'll have their own codes. They go right to our dispenser at any hour of the day, night, and they punch in their numbers, punch in the gallons, and that computer takes care of everything else.
I'm all for making money back on this thing. But you know, now you bring up something else. I mean, because you're basically in a residential neighborhood down there. And I hate to be seeing these big trucks going in there at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning to pick this stuff up.
All it is a snowplow.
I know, but besides our snowplows, now it's going to be a snowplow from Ilion, one from Rome, one from, you know, we may double the traffic down there with snowplows.
I got a question. What was the warranty that was on the machine? Was it the full 10 years or no?
Yeah, it's because it's all made out of stainless steel.
So as much as we use it, we still got the same warranty for repairs and stuff, right?
Pumps.
There's no exclusion though if we go out and sell that though, is there?
No.
Okay.
No.
So would there be any...
Well, we're gonna make so much money on
Well, I
this.
don't know what
Why
the
don't we build
warranty
more of
says.
them?
I mean, I haven't seen the warranty, so I mean, you know, do we get a, I mean, after 5 years, if this thing breaks down, we're not gonna get a brand new machine. You know, I'm sure they're gonna amortize this.
Yeah, they're gonna depreciate your use on it
Right.
already, and,
So I mean, it's,
Right.
you
You're
know,
not gonna get a-
warranties are all fine and well, but.
Village
I don't
of
know.
Hamilton's has been up and running now for, this is going on their 5th year. Same
How-
machine.
But how many people do they have?
They have quite a few. That part of the state is buying it out of
Do you know
Hamilton.
how many gallons that they use with everybody in there?
I don't have that number, but he keeps up with everybody, and
I mean, I don't mind, you know, getting some money
Right.
back on this thing and actually helping to pay for it and covering our costs, but
it's just a new
I think
type
Don
of.
brings up a good point. I hate to, you know, I know this makes whatever it is, 6,000 gallons an hour, but, you know, if we get a major storm and everybody's there all at one time, you know, I think there would have to be some way that we get it first. And I don't know how you do that.
That's in the contract.
Well, no, the contract says based on availability.
Availability.
But I think what Pat is saying is, all these people come in, start drawing it down, then your trucks go and there's none left.
There's that farm, that tank farm holds 12, we got 12,000 gallons on hand.
How much goes in each truck? I mean, in other words, if you sent out all our trucks, how much?
Each saddle tank is 75 gallons, there's 2 saddle tanks on each truck, so it's 150 gallons a truck.
And you do how many road miles approximately?
It sprays 8 gallons of brine to a ton of salt, and there's 8 tons of salt on a truck. That's when we put it down with material. If we go out and pre-treat, the tanker goes out and pre-treats, it uses 50 gallons per mile on that 3,000 gallon tanker.
On a tanker?
That's when we go out and pre-treat before the storm.
Right, right. So that's your biggest use?
That's the biggest use.
And for the snow plow, how does that equate to gallons per mile?
It's 8 gallons per ton, and
So, right, okay, so how many ton do you put down per mile, I guess?
Bill, how many tons do we put down?
300 pounds a mile.
Okay, okay, okay.
Thanks, Rick.
Yep.
Well, it's 7 cents a cost and 7 cents or 17 cents a selling. That's, did I hear that right?
No. The cost is 17 cents, and that's what we're selling it.
Oh, we're selling it for cost.
Yeah, we can't mark things up.
Well, obviously, then you're right dead on that. We have to figure something for the, you figure the lifespan of the equipment, 10 years, the initial cost and what it's going to depreciate every year, our share and everybody else's share, and that's what the cost is.
Well, I think you're right, or you put it by gallon, put the maximum number of gallons you think you get in the season, and then you do it by gallon and something. But I think we should add something.
What's the term of the agreement?
There is no specific term. And it's just based on availability. So if we don't have it, we don't have it.
Yeah, but this is next year, or the next board going to renegotiate the contract for the next season? Or is this like just keep going on until?
It's a year.
Oh,
Well, I'd be worried
about that.
It's a 1 year.
1 year.
Okay.
The city of Rome, as they mature, they're gonna wanna have their own farm or their own tankers or whatever, and you're gonna be left without having that contract in place. You're gonna lose that income stream.
Yeah, but your cost is going to reduce.
Yeah, that's right. It's not gonna harm us by not having them on contract.
Okay. Unless we built it in.
Right.
Well,
Shall remain in effect until terminated or modified in writing by either the town or purchaser. Either may terminate this agreement at any time. I've written those.
I would like to see that 1 year, also with the termination thing in there, but not go for more than 1 year. Because somebody's gonna forget about it.
should be negotiated every year anyway, because the price of salt may be different next year.
Want to hold off on this?
I don't think it's ready.
Okay. All right. Next thing, next item. Who's up? Parks, Paul. Have you got anything? Nope, I'm sorry, that's not you.
No.
Anything else? Don, Dave?
Yeah, I've got the library. I'm the liaison of the library, and we've all had copies of resumes. This is, there are 3 positions open, and I met with the library. I hope you've had an opportunity to review these. I'd like to recommend that Janet Hoover, 3 Grantwood Road, Heather Mowat, and Richard Evans be appointed and or reappointed to the library board.
Have these terms expired yet?
They expire at the end of the year.
I don't think this is, I think they should be acted on in January. I don't think it's who I want to appoint and who the next first board councilman in January wants to appoint may be different.
That's what we did last time with planning board, because I think Paul was coming on, and we deferred the appointment till after the first of the year, because if the board is gonna stay the same, there isn't an issue, but if there's a new council person, then he should be allowed, or she should be allowed to participate.
I don't have a problem either way the board wants to go on this, but I think the planning board and the zoning board are a little bit different than the library board, in my opinion. Is Jim here? Nothing against you, Jim, but, I mean, if there's one thing we could take care of before here, I absolutely agree with Don if it comes to boards like the planning board and the zoning board. But I believe with the library board, this gives them the opportunity to pick up on whenever their meetings are on January 1st and carry through. So I would be in favor of entertaining Dave's motion. We do have a motion. Do we have a second to the motion? I'll make the second to the motion. Discussion, any more discussion on this?
Yeah, I feel that the zoning board and planning board don't deal with $500,600,000 of taxpayers' money on an annual basis. And that the library actually, I still stand by my position, is that I should not be casting a vote on these. The term should expire or vacate. The incoming councilman sitting in this chair next year should have absolute choice in choosing those members.
Any other discussion?
Ben says I think we should make.
Paul?
Was there more applicants?
Yes.
In there?
Yeah, yep.
How'd you choose?
After reviewing and
Okay.
discussion with the board.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't, if they come to a vote, I'll vote nay because those aren't my picks. Then again, I feel that they should be 2014 board's picks, not the 2013 board's pick. Those seats have not expired, they are not vacant right now.
Paul?
Until next year?
Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, how are we gonna review the other candidates? Is that something you did with the board and the library? That's the library wants done?
Yes.
Well, I think you
Oh,
all
okay.
had copies
And I
of
reviewed
these.
it also, yeah.
Okay, well, no, because I got a call from this guy. He was very down.
I have a question about the library.
So,
Is it appropriate to address the services at the library at this meeting?
No.
Okay. When is it appropriate and where?
At the
December
library board
18th.
meetings.
At the what?
Library board meetings?
December 18th at 12 o'clock over here in Butler
Okay,
Hall.
thank you.
Please, and we welcome your
Isn't
applicant.
he on the
Thank
library
you.
board?
No.
Don?
No.
Or he was brought up.
He was brought up in.
He was brought up
Before.
and the board didn't vote on. Choose.
can you read?
You were here, Paul.
No, but I mean, any reason? Well,
No,
last
no.
time, because he called, you know, I mean,
No, I know, I met with him.
yeah.
But the last time we did appoint a board member, his resume was in there, et cetera. And it was brought up, but we went with, as a friend of mine says, we went in a different direction. Or I should say the board went in a different direction. Hold on. It's up to you whether we're gonna take the vote here or not.
It's up to me.
Well, we've got two people that are basically saying we shouldn't take the vote.
I'd just like to go over the applicants, maybe an executive session first, and then come out and make a decision from there.
That's fine.
Is that fair enough?
Do you want to table it till after we'll go into executive session, we'll table it till after we get out.
Okay.
Ed, since you're on the library board, I'll give you like a half.
I just like to ask, I think it's appropriate, Councilman Backman is correct, that I think if Council, Mr. Cully, would address public officers law, that it is the duty of the new board, not the old board, to make a selection. And I would like to state for the record, in opposition to the recommendation and to Mr. Reynolds, this was not my recommendation. There were other people that were appropriately, I should say not appropriately reviewed. Judy Jerome, for one, is 25 years as library director. And I must state, she is far more qualified than anyone that was recommended to this town board. And I've openly expressed my opposition to the recommendation because how it came forward. There is also another gentleman by the name of Joe Bolton. The problem here we're dealing with $500,000 that the town is using taxpayers' dollars to subsidize the library. I fully expect that this board would be cognizant of that fact and that we can run on $500,000. We saw when the current board asked for $1 million from the public and it was voted down by over 2,500 people voted, 1,700 people voted nay. I think it's about time that we address the needs of the people and what they can afford, but by the same token, I ask the board to defer this vote until 2014 and let the new council member replacing Councilman Backman make his decision, because I think it is his decision, and I do believe public officers law trumps. And there could be a problem, there could be potential litigation if someone were to challenge it, but I would ask the board to seriously consider Judy Jerome and Mr. Joseph Bolton as recommendation.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
All right, we will discuss this after coming out, and we'll go into executive session on this, we'll discuss it afterwards. Anything else from the board before we go to?
I think I got another, you need another resolution for,
Robin? Is that the one back here?
Yes.
this is for the appointment of Shelby Bowling, effective December 2, to fill the vacancy from Robin Brindisi. That salary is $11.47. I'll make the motion that we approve that.
Effective December 2nd. Right. Motion by Richard, second.
Sure.
Don, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, if nothing else from the council, then I'll turn it over to the town attorney for his matters. Is that executive session?
Yes.
Okay.
The Markwood certiorari proceedings, matter in litigation.
Okay, we have a couple things to go over on that. All right, Dan, you want to give your financial report?
Sure. I have a couple things to bring to the court's attention. The first thing being the review of the Justice Court funds and records. I put a packet of information in your mailboxes on Monday morning. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at that or if you have it with you. I can kind of summarize what I did here. I completed the review of the Justice Court funds for the years 2010, 11, and 12. In conducting that review, I followed the Comptroller's Handbook for the Justice Court funds, Appendix 10, which provides a program to follow and a checklist. So for each of the years that I reviewed, I followed that program. And in actuality, in a couple of the sections, I went into more detailed testing of the records, primarily in testing cash receipts and cash disbursements. I actually, traced actual cash receipts, 2 deposit slips, and 2 the bank statements, and into the reports that our justice court system provides to the town and to the state. So I did, above and beyond what this program actually called for. The major sections that I focused on and are in that program are cash receipts, cash disbursements testing, and this is all in my summary report. I reviewed all the monthly bank reconciliations. I reviewed, on a sample basis, various docket and case files with Ann Rose there at the courts. I reviewed the reporting to the Division of Criminal Justice Services and the reporting to the Justice Court Fund with the state, and also some testing and reporting of the reporting to the Department of Motor Vehicles. And so in doing that, I found there to be no major issues or no major exceptions that need to be reported. And in my judgment, the court system appears to be operating effectively and efficiently, reporting timely. And I also provided a summary on a monthly basis of the amount of money that is brought in, to the town, and the town's share, the state's share, and each judge's share of what they brought in for those years that I reviewed. So I'd like you to entertain a motion to get this into the minutes so that we can report that to the state that we've completed those reviews.
Motion to enter that into the minutes as submitted.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then I'm going to plan on doing the review for 2013 right along here between now and the end of the year into January so that we complete that on a timely basis.
Thanks. Anything else?
The only other thing is, with the implementation of the new health insurance program that we're going to have for the non-union employees, it calls for, it requires to open up a separate bank account to hold monies that we need to fund, the town needs to fund for the deductibles, so we can account for it separately and not commingle it. So I just need an approval to open up this separate bank account to fund it and to establish that.
Which will be known as the town of Hartford, what is it, HRA?
HRA health insurance account.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anything else, Danny?
I think that's it.
All right, moving on. Sequoia Creek Basin status. I met with Mayor Bylock, Supervisor Gibbs from the town of Whitestown, and Dave Glenn, who basically chairs the Sequoia Creek Basin Commission at this point. I expressed my concerns, they expressed theirs. It was, I guess, enlightening to know that basically the same concerns were expressed by everybody that was at this meeting. One of the things that was brought up was the $20,000 that gets paid to hawk-ups, which basically accounts for them holding our maps, taking minutes at the meetings, etc. This group thought that it might be a wise idea to, instead of paying $20,000 to the county for that service, is to take that kind of money, hire an engineer that would be specific for the Sequoia Creek Basin, and having that person do as his main job to start with, prioritize the problems with the Sequoia Creek at this point. Basically what, similar to what we tried to do with the bonding for our flood control system. There were some good ideas, but definitely the consensus was that there were some changes that need to be made. With that being said, there was another meeting that was scheduled, and it's going to be this coming Monday night, which will be just all of the mayors and supervisors of the communities that are there. The reason for that is to see what communities are really committed to this commission. And after that meeting, some ideas will be tossed out, and then I'll bring them back to everybody. Okay. Before we go into executive session, we got bills. Motion to approve the bills.
Move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have a couple of issues. We have one issue, Rich, I think yours is with the assessor that we'd like to talk about. The position of the town assessor in executive session. We also have the positions on the library board that we will discuss in executive session, and also the Markwood certiorari in executive session. Motion to go into executive.
One more thing,
I'm sorry.
I thought you were going to mention that, I understand Judge-elect Copeland is going to school, and I don't know if there's a motion to cover his bills.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we cover his costs of attending the school, including motel bills and whatever associated costs are normal and incidental to going, to attending.
Yes, I had that.
Including mileage, if submitted.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I do have one more thing here. Our IT people, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Don, because I forgot there was stuff in here, have sent us a renewal for our contract, M.A. Polsey. It's the same amount, the $33.50, same as what it was in the past. Motion to accept the contract for the upcoming year. This contract will run from January until December.
So move it.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That being said, motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Supervisor, can I just
Go
want
ahead,
to
Heather.
tonight we have a guest. I think Mary wants to introduce our new librarian here tonight.
Oh, good. Thanks, Heather. Mary.
Oh, we're fortunate, we've had for about a week and a half, Elena Schneider, who's our new librarian, comes with a distinguished background, a lot of experience, and I think will do a wonderful job for the community.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome
Thank you.
aboard. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming tonight. That being said, we motion to go into executive session.
Make a motion.
Motion by Paul, second.
I'll second.
By Rich, all in favor? Aye. We'll take a couple of minutes till everybody leaves and then we'll come back. Back in open session. Dave, I think you had something?
Yes, I'm going to rescind my motion for the library appointments until after the first of the year with the new board.
All right, and we did have a meeting scheduled for December 18th. As I emailed all these folks, I was hoping that we could get all the business done today, and I think we can. That being the case, Board, would you like to eliminate next week's board meeting since it's only a week away?
I'm happy you're meeting again, really do what you want.
So last time for Don?
No, we're not going to do last night for that.
No, I mean, maybe the last meeting, do it.
We got a motion by.
Who made the motion? Dave?
Dave.
Make a motion to eliminate the 18th, unless there is specific, something that we have to do. But,
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
I
Aye.
Dave?
The Rich vote? Aye.
All right, 4-1. All right, so the December 18th meeting will be eliminated. All right, any other business that the board wants to bring up at this time?
I'll make a motion to appoint Darlene Batacola as town assessor for $48,500 a year.
Second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Aye.
No. Okay, that's passed. Any other business? Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Happy holidays to the board.
Happy holidays to everyone.